Hey everybody, David the AI Guide here. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. Also, click the link below for the free resource to learn more about AI and also have the opportunity to participate in our beta program. I've created a course that is designed to help you pivot in your career and get to an AI-safe job. We're going to take 5 people only. I've already got a couple now, so jump on this while it's free because once we do the beta with the 5 people and get their feedback on the program we have and everything, we're going to start charging for it. So why not get it for free while you can? But, today's video is actually about education. And I want to talk about this because here on the AI Guide, we haven't talked that much about AI and education, but this is a great opportunity to do so. And Professor Hariri talks about this also briefly in the Unscheduled Live that I posted last Sunday. So this will be right on point with that too. But it says this article, undergraduate enrollments at U.S. colleges and universities continue to decline this fall, led by a 5.6% drop in community college sector and a much bigger drop in the for-profit sector. Adult students in particular are sitting out, but across the board of all ages, undergraduate enrollment is estimated to have dropped 3.2%. And then when you combine that with the decline the year before, it's 6.5% in only 2 years. The numbers provide the first hard evidence that Americans aren't just saying they're interested in shorter non-degree options, but are starting to show up for them. Enrollment in undergraduate certificates inched up, while enrollment in undergraduate full degree programs continues to decline. Associate degree programs particularly hard hit. So what does this mean and how does this relate to AI? 2 great questions. What does it mean? Well, we have talked here once before on the AI Guide about AI's impact on education and the changing trends in education generally. So not in other countries, but here in the United States, where college is a big business. The universities are corporations, don't fool yourself. It's big business, big money for tuition. So here in the US, where you pay a lot of money for school, people are starting to question the wisdom of that, right? Because you graduate and you have 100,000 plus of debt that you have to spend 10 years paying off. So a significant slice of your income after tax, by the way, comes right off the top of what you make, which makes college unaffordable for some. Now, people who are in the very low income brackets get tuition waivers and or room and board waivers at a regular college, which is great, but it's the people in the middle who don't make so little money that they can get free college, but don't make enough to easily be able to pay for college that are falling into the cracks here. The other big trend is that courses online have taken off hugely, whether they're from traditional education sources like universities, whether they're nonprofit or for-profit. They're all for-profit now. That's a fiction, but the official for-profit ones are like University of Phoenix, whereas, well, the public universities are nonprofit, right? They're providing a service to the citizens of each state for education at reduced cost, Public university still costs quite a bit of money, but here in the US, but it's cheaper than the major national universities. Think the Ivy League and all the other private universities scattered around the country that are for-profit businesses. Things have changed. In the old days, the only way to get new information was to go to college or sit many hours in a library or sit at home many hours reading books. Famous example. There's a few famous examples of people who are extremely successful today who did not go to college at all, but they did it through reading, and mentoring. And the first two I think of is Tai Lopez, who everyone knows who that is, and another one is John Assaraf, who has NeuroGym. Both guys did not go to college really, or if they just started college and quit right after the beginning, but have gone on to be extremely successful because they're self-taught. Well, now people understand that this is possible. There's a whole way to teach yourself to do things now that didn't exist before, that exists now. So for example, let's say you never wanted to go to college and you wanted to learn a trade. You used to go to trade school, and now you can do that with YouTube videos that, given enough time, can teach you how to do almost anything in carpentry or almost anything in plumbing or almost anything as an electrician. Then you get an apprenticeship and you end up being a master and make a very good living. Or let's say you want to learn something very specific. Instead of going to college, you want to learn computer programming. There's many options to do that now. And you can learn coding without going to college. And once you demonstrate your coding skills through testing, you can get a great job coding. So this is it's just starting to play out. Sorry, I've got bad allergies at this time of year. This is just starting to play out, but one of the factors driving university decline in enrollments is the ability to learn on your own. So if you're self-motivated, you can learn on your own and save tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, because a private university these days is $300,000 for 4 years of college. It's insane. Europeans, by the way, can't imagine that because college is free in Europe. So how does AI relate to all this? Well, Professor Hariri talked about this in his 60-minute interview that I did the live video on a week ago, and that you can go see the 60-minute interview on YouTube. Powerful interview, but one of the things he talks about is AI will know you better than you know yourself. It will. And it can then tell you, based on the person you are, you would like doing this for a living. Here's the courses you need to take. This is how you can get certified. And now you're ready to apply and get a job doing this, and you're perfectly suited to it, and you're going to love your job. Why? Because the AI will know you better than you know yourself. Why? Because it knows what you like, don't like about everything. Food, TV, movies, music, what kind of people you like and don't like. Everything is known to the algorithms that have been created at the big tech giants like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. AI will have a profound impact on education, and that leads to the question, how are the universities going to respond to it? Well, one example is that the University of New Hampshire pivoted to a mostly online deal, and they now educate tens of thousands of people across the United States through their online programs, and they're big, and these are programs for working adults. And you do this a bit at a time after work instead of going to college. So that's the first model, but other models will come. I don't know what they are now. People at universities are definitely starting to think about them, because with falling enrollments, they'll have no choice. Because while tuition doesn't cover all the expenses of a university, it covers a lot of it. Research grants and government grants fund a lot of stuff at universities. And of course, the other thing is their endowments fund the rest of it. Endowments are why universities are a business now, by the way, rather than nonprofit. They are not nonprofit, private universities, not public. AI is going to really disrupt the need to go to college. However, there is a however to that. An AI based on knowing you will recommend a very narrow path for you to pursue. The beauty and transformative thing about 4 years at college is it opens your mind up to a lot of stuff you never considered or knew about. AI isn't going to help with that. It'll be interesting to see how universities can leverage the benefit of that to stay relevant. But we'll see. But the one thing we do know with 100% confidence is that post-secondary education is going to change dramatically in the next 20 years. Primary school and secondary school, meaning elementary, middle school, high school, those kind of things, will change more slowly. Why? Because they're government institutions and they evolve more slowly than private institutions. The same is true with public universities. Public universities might lag the private universities in this change that education is going to go through, but not necessarily. One example of a public university that will not lag the private universities is the University of California system, because it's ahead of many of the private universities already in a bunch of fields. Everything is dependent, right? And we don't know how this is going to play out, but we do know education is going to change dramatically. Click the link below, get your free resource, join our free beta. You got to go through the whole resource to do that. Not the whole thing, but part of it. And also, buy my book on Amazon. It gives you a very short overview of AI's history, AI, what it is, and how it's already disrupting 10 industries. So thanks so much.